everybody, Mike with Cactus Crawlers RC, and I am back again today with the Axial Capra. My goal so far with the Capra is I'm trying to get this thing to make it up an obstacle we call Impossible Hill over at the North Valley Wash. Even with all the mods that I've done, it still isn't able to conquer that obstacle, and I think mainly probably because the Capra sits really high and the suspension is really soft, and it's got this heavier than a Lexan body, which isn't helping it. So what I'd like to do is a couple more mods today. I think if after I do these couple more mods, it's going to really help it to accomplish the goal of conquering the Impossible Hill. One thing is to bring down the ride height of the Capra. It sits really high. I'd like to get it to where at least the links are flat going all the way across, and that would pretty much bring it down to about right there. So if I can get this thing to drop like another 5 to 10 millimeters in the shocks, then that would be perfect. One way I could get to bring these shocks down is by doing the good old-fashioned pin spring mod, and I've got 4 pin springs right here. So I just picked up a 4-pack of clicky pins and pulled the springs out of them. So to do the pin spring mod, I do have to take the shocks off, take them apart, get that shaft out of there, and this is going to go under the piston on the shaft inside the shock body. So by doing that, it should drop it down to the right height that I'm looking for. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some weight onto the front of the Capra, and by doing that, I went ahead and ordered some of these Injora portal brass covers, and they're I believe they're like 48 grams, maybe a combination of both of them being 96. I can't remember exactly, but that's a lot of brass, and it looks like a disc brake. So while I'm doing the shocks, I'll go ahead and I'll replace the portal covers with these. Give me an opportunity to see if you know, I have plenty of grease inside my portal gears. And once I do those 2 mods, it's going to be time to take it back out to Impossible Hill, and let's have at her once again. So let me get all this done, and we'll go from there. Okay, so at this point I have the shock bottom eyelet removed, and I have the top of the cap and off of it, and I've plunged out as much oil as I can. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to push this shaft and plunger all the way up, and there's the plunger. Oh, by the way, I did loosen this cap down here because there's this O-ring in there and you don't want to pinch the O-ring, so loosen that to take the pressure off. So I'll pull the plunger out, and then I'll take one of these pin springs and then I'll put it back into the body. Now the spring is in there. Alrighty, there's the first one done. So I just got to repeat that process 3 more times, get the shocks put onto the buggy, and get these Injora covers put on along the way. So here's another trick that I want to try, and I got this trick from Mark over at RCU in the shed to help bring the front shock just up a little bit more. Here's where the shock locations are, and then where this cage is bolting into the side pod of this body right here, here's another screw. And what he found out is that if you move the shock from here to up here, you bring that front end down just a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move my location up to there. Well, it looks like it fits in there pretty good, and it's not restrictive. Heck yeah, I like. Add it to the other side, and we're just about done. All right, everybody, here we go. The Capra with the mods to bring the center of gravity down. And one thing that I forgot to do and I wanted to do was I wanted to take a measurement to see how high it was sitting, and well, regardless that I forgot to do that, I can tell that this thing is sitting much lower. The links are just about straight going across, so that's what I was looking for, was to get those links straight. So I've got the pen springs in all 4 shocks, and I've got the little Mark mod from RCU in the shed right here done, so that brings it down a little bit more. I've got the weights for the portal covers on the front, and I can tell, yeah, that sure does add a lot more weight to the front. And even though, you know, I did lose a little bit of suspension travel by doing the pen spring mod, it still has a pretty good amount of articulation. So maybe it lost a little bit, but the Capra always had, you know, a good amount of articulation. So I didn't lose any of that. It still moves pretty good. And yeah, I think it is ready to give the Impossible Hill another try. And let's see what this continuous modded Capra, what it's actually going to take to you know, what it's going to take to get this Capra up and over the Impossible Hill. So next thing to do, get it out there. Let's see what she does. Thanks for checking out this episode of Cactus Crawlers RC, and we'll see y'all next time.